talking a lot of hockey. It's a hockey talkie, if you will. With me today from the Insiders Room, I've got Nick Parsons. How's it going, Nick?
It's going fantastic, and I'm sitting here with Nick Earle here from Earle Sports Bets, and last night we did the Total Chaos, NHL Total Chaos. And so, yeah, we've touched on some of these games tonight on the totals and everything, but definitely ready to give out some picks on the sides here, Ellie.
Yes, indeed. That was not Nick. Nick was last week.
That was Cam.
Oh, okay. Sorry. That's right. Cam. Sorry, Nick. That's right.
No worries at all.
It does sort of get confusing sometimes. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to see what happens here. So yeah, no, then Nick, you can touch on these totals all you want there. But I can review the totals that I took.
Indeed. How are you doing, Nick? You've been doing well at hockey?
Oh yeah, I've been loving the last week in hockey. I think I'm 26-9 in my last 35 plays. It's going really well. At one point, I was on I think it was a 16-4 run, a 10-1 run. So we're doing really well this week for hockey. So I'm hoping to keep that going.
Yeah, I was statting you on the morning. I do a show called Morning Wood, and they like to give 3 hockey picks. And Nick had the best record last week. He was 13-3 through his hockey picks. So excellent work there, friend. Wait, there we go. Okay, so we got
myself, and we have Nick Earle, who was here a second ago.
I feel like he's coming back. I
think so.
We'll make it back in here. So yeah, we went over this last night as far as all of the totals went, so we can quickly retouch on those also. Sure. And I know you and I did a free pick video on this Vegas-Minnesota game. You would have been proud of me because in the chat this morning, they were asking, why is Vegas the favorite? You know, why is everyone on Vegas? And I was like, well, because they're in a revenge spot and because they are taking a day off tomorrow. And so I kind of regurgitated everything that you said, right, but I totally gave you credit for it. So.
Oh, well, thanks. I mean, yeah, these teams are really super evenly matched, Vegas and Minnesota. And so, yeah, I guess as far as the side is concerned there, I do like Vegas. They have the better goals against, slightly better. So, yeah, I think this is a good spot for Vegas to bounce back after, I believe Vegas has now lost 2 in a row. Is that correct? No, just the 1 loss. But, I mean, previous to that, they had won 6 in a row. So, yeah, no, I think this is a good spot for Vegas to bounce back.
Detroit Lenny wants to let you know that the Tigers beat the Yankees yesterday. But let's talk hockey. He was from our baseball chat that we were in. Nick, what do you think about this Vegas Golden Knights game?
This is 100% a bounce back spot for the Vegas Golden Knights. Couple things to keep an eye on. Pietrangelo is out today. He did go back to Vegas, so we're not expecting him back the next couple games. Stone is a game time decision. That is one thing to look at. This is why this is more of a min bet for me rather than if Stone was in and Pietrangelo was in. This is a smash spot for Vegas, but I can definitely see this being like a lower scoring game. Maybe Vegas has to shut down this Minnesota offense because I don't know how well the scoring will be. I'm going to hope that like the Marcia Show Smith line steps it up or something like that because they didn't look really good without Pietrangelo or Stone last game. So they're going to need to find offense elsewhere, and maybe it's Pasquaretti as well. But I think this is definitely probably a low-scoring game where Marc-Andre Fleury kind of has to pitch a shutout for this one in order for them to keep pace with Minnesota. But I do like Vegas in this match.
All right, so we're consensed. We like the Knights. That's what we're rolling with here. Okay, so up next, let's talk the Ottawa Senators at Edmonton. Good chick friend of mine in my girl chat is all over the Senators today. What are you guys thinking about it?
You want to start, Nick?
Sure. If I would have to make a bet on this game, I personally do not have any action on this game. If I would have to place a bet on it, it's Ottawa. I think Edmonton's beat them, the first 5 times they played? I don't think they beat them a 6th time in a row like that. That's a little bit too much to ask for one team to do. I mean, it's tough to beat a team 6 times. So, I mean, and you're getting plus, 180 on Ottawa right now. I'm not saying go out and bet Ottawa, but if I had to place any type of bet in this game, the value is on Ottawa.
All right. How do you feel about it, Nick?
Yeah, I would have a tough time on either of these sides, but I would lean to the over in this one, just because that last game went under. 2 of Edmonton's last 2 games there have gone under. So yeah, I just think we would have to see Edmonton try to bounce back here and Ottawa try to build off of its last win there. Or I guess it did lose, sorry. But yeah, Ottawa has been playing a bit better, and if Ottawa's going to win, it's going to have to score here. So my strongest play on this game would be to the over.
All right, to the over with Ottawa is how we're going to roll on that one. Nick's not in love with it. Neither Nick is in love with this, okay? No one's got official action here.
No, I just can't in my right mind bet Ottawa, so.
I get that. All right, so Arizona at Colorado. Colorado's a big favorite as always. I'm trying to get this right because I switched my little thingy. So minus 230, totals 5.5. What do you got on this one, Parsons?
Well, I just wanted to also say, what about Ottawa on the puck line? That would be decent.
Yeah.
If you're gonna take Ottawa plus 190, then you're gonna be able to get the 1.5 still at like plus 110 or so. So that would be a consideration also if you do like Ottawa there. But as far as this Colorado and Arizona, Colorado has just not lived up to expectations. I know, Ellie, you're going to probably ask us about some teams that have lived up to expectations and who hasn't, and surprises, etc. And I'd say that Colorado has struggled to this point. It was thought by many to be this was going to be the team to beat this year, and that really has not been the case. It's struggled a lot. It's coming off of a 5-4 OT loss to Anaheim, and that was followed by a 3-2 loss to Arizona here. I mean, geez, we were just talking about the puck line there. I almost want to lean towards the Colorado on the puck line here at home to really bounce back in this spot and finally put forward a good game. But maybe I can wait to hear what Mr. Earle has to think about this contest.
What do you got on this one, Mr. Earle?
Absolutely nothing. Looking at the sides here, I am no way going to lay minus 230 on anyone ever. It could be the best team versus the worst team. I'm not laying minus 230. That's just not the way to make money in the sport because things happen. Look at the Arizona side, but they just lost Darcy Comfort, their starting goalie, which now you're going to have Antti Raanta be your primary starter for this team, which he's very inconsistent. He's consistently inconsistent is I think the best phrase to use for him. So this game, I have nothing involved with it. These two teams played two different types of totals. Colorado generally plays to the under. Arizona generally plays to the over. And this line is way too wide for my liking. So this is a pass for me.
All right.
One more thing. Nate McKinnon is playing tonight, though. So if that helps anyone lean towards Colorado a little bit more, one of the best players in the NHL is back tonight.
Elliot's saying the three-way has a better price on that game. So there's that. If you're looking at Colorado, maybe look to that. Okay, so up next, let's do LA at the LA Kings at Anaheim Ducks. LA
Really
minus
interesting.
40. That doesn't feel so bad. What do you got?
This is an interesting and difficult conference, I think, this West one. With Vegas, it's at 16-5. St. Louis is at 14-8. Minnesota is at 14-8. Colorado at 13-8. Arizona at 12-10. LA has a winning record at 10-8. And then the two bottom feeders, Anaheim and San Jose, who started so poorly this year, but who have looked a lot better over the last 3 weeks. I mean, they're 8-12 and 9-11 respectively. But as far as this game, I mean, this last one here, Anaheim won in overtime, 6-5, a real barn burner. I actually have a play on the total on this one, so I'm going to steer clear of that one. But yeah, I would lean towards LA to bounce back here. I think that's a pretty reasonable price at minus 140. So that's as far as the side is concerned. I liked LA.
All right. I like it. That was kind of my first instinct when I saw it. I'm like, that's not a bad price to lay on the Kings. I've cashed the Kings a couple times from my free pick guys. What do you got on it, Nick Earle?
I am glad I bet this when I bet this because I got them at minus 120, and there's no way I'm laying minus 140 on this Kings team. That is way too much to bet on a team that had a good stretch, but they've come back to earth definitely after that 16 win streak. For me, I would probably lean towards the under in this game, and I have bet the Kings. I just don't see a 6-5 type of game happening again. That's just not the way these two teams play. LA, even though they have a record for over-under, is more towards the over. Generally, they play more towards the under, especially with someone like Calvin Peterson in net or Jonathan Quick, but he's hurt. And Anaheim is the biggest under team, I think, in the league right now. So I would definitely lean towards the under. I definitely don't see this Ducks team scoring 6 goals again. But I do have a bet on the LA Kings tonight at -120, though, not -140.
That's awesome. Well, excellent work. It is really all about getting the best number, isn't it?
Yep, for sure. And as I said, I do have a play on the total on that one, which you can find over at picksandparlays.net. And I think that we are going to agree on this final game here, Mr. Nick Earle.
Well, I was going to tell them there is a promo code if you guys are over at Picks and that place we work. If you guys are over at picksandparlays.net, use the promo code MAD, M-A-D, and it'll save you 20% off the entire site. That includes Nick Parsons' premium picks and packages. So definitely check that out. Okay, sorry, I had to get that out. It was more difficult.
No worries, thanks.
So yeah, last one, Montreal at Vancouver. Detroit, Lenny was asking about it. -150 on the Canadiens, and total is 6. So what are we doing here?
Well, I think that Nick bet this early, and he also has a better line than what is currently available. But I still think that he would like Vancouver in this spot. Vancouver's been playing a lot better. It's won 3 in a row. All 3 of those victories have resulted in unders. Now, the Canadiens, they started out fantastic. They looked just so great on both ends of the ice, but they've completely fallen apart. They fired their head coach. They've been alternating wins and losses over their last 4 games. Now, Vancouver is coming off the tight 2-1 shootout win in the last one, but still, this is an 8:00 Pacific game in Vancouver, so that's an 11:00 start for this Eastern Conference team as well. So yeah, I think that the value here is too good to be given to give up here on this Vancouver team, which has suddenly figured out its goaltending. So yeah, I think the value definitely lies with the home side here.
I like it. What do you say, Nick? I'm like ready to bet now. I'm like, where's my phone?
Absolutely. I think you bet this Vancouver team tonight. Thatcher Demko looked like bubbled Thatcher Demko after Markstrom went out last season, where he almost carried them to a series win versus Vegas. This Vancouver team looks really good right now. Not only have they won their last 3 games, they're against 3 decent teams, or they're against good teams. Montreal, I mean, they're on a down swing right now. They just haven't looked any good, and they don't give me any reason really to bet them right now other than that 7-1 win versus Winnipeg. And Vancouver, 3 straight wins versus Montreal, and they also beat Toronto back-to-back games where Thatcher Demko looked amazing in net. So I'm definitely going back to this Vancouver well. I'm probably going to do the same thing I did with Vancouver that I did last week, a week and a half ago with LA, where I'm going to ride this streak till it dies and keep getting plus money on this Canucks team until they finally lose a game. But I think Vancouver definitely gets the win tonight at a really nice plus price.
I'm looking it up right now. I'm a degenerate. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. So there's that. So I did want to ask you guys just to kind of, because, hockey's not my biggest thing, but I'm learning. I've been picking up a lot of stuff along the way. And there are definitely things that I've noticed that I didn't expect. Like the Avalanche, we were just talking about them. I expected the Avs to be a good team this year. I don't feel like they're as solid as maybe I was led to believe they may be. So Nick Earle, who has really like jumped out at you as a team who's wasn't supposed to be very good, but now, hey, look at us. We're playing pretty well right now, because we're just at the halfway mark of hockey. For you guys who don't know that, we're just about halfway through the season. So I want to do a mid-season update real quick.
Yeah, I have 2 teams written down here that have really surprised me so far this season. The first one here is Winnipeg. I expected them to maybe be 5th or 6th in this division, and I think they can really compete for first in this division with the Leafs. Connor Hellebuck has looked like one of the best goalies in the NHL. They're getting really good scoring from Kyle Connor and Mark Scheifele. Their defense hasn't been terrible with Morrissey and Pioink. Like, this team is an overall really well put together team, and they're definitely exceeding expectations for me so far this year with all their wins. And I've been riding them the last couple of weeks, and they've been making me some pretty good money, this Winnipeg Jets team. The other one is, I think, one of the most obvious teams that a lot of us had written off the start of the year, but then somehow they've looked really well in a year that really they should be rebuilding, and now they're looking like they're competing for a playoff spot. It's the Chicago Blackhawks. This team has found goalies. Malcolm Subban hasn't been terrible, but the biggest surprise for them is Kevin Lankinen has looked good. This team has played really good defense, and they play towards the under, and they basically say, okay, here's what we're going to do for our games. We're going to have Bernadette and we're going to have Patrick Kane. They're going to go and score our goals, and we're going to hold them to less goals than we score. And it's actually worked pretty well for this Chicago Blackhawks team so far. So they're really surprising me as well.
Yeah, that Chanel just said it. Blackhawks surprised me. So, yeah.
Well, one team which took a big step up last year and was, they had a big hopes was Buffalo. And now, of course, it got hit by COVID early, and so that was an issue for them for sure. But, I mean, they've looked horrible this year. A surprise team that's looked really good. I don't know if it's a big surprise, but they're looking really good, and that's Carolina at 18-6. And then in the North Division, a couple teams which were, that took big steps last year, especially in the playoffs. That was the Vancouver Canucks. We just talked about how good they're playing right now, but really it's been a really difficult season. It all started with the goaltending at the start of the season. The offense was decent, actually, but it was definitely on the back end. But that has looked a lot better of late. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see. The word is still out on that to see if that can be sustained. But yeah, those are some of my surprise teams and letdowns here.
All right.
See, for me, one of your surprise teams doesn't surprise me at all. I was super high on Carolina coming into the season. They're actually one of my top picks to win the Cup. So I was just super high on this Carolina team because, I mean, I know I live in North Carolina and everything, but I was not a Canes fan when I moved here. And they've really, by winning bets for me, they've warmed a spot in my heart. And I really like this Carolina Hurricanes team. They're very talented top to bottom. The only question is their goaltending, which, I mean, James Reimer hasn't looked terrible. Alex Nedeljkovic has looked pretty decent for being supposed to be a third string and heading into the season. And they're waiting on Peter Mrazek to get back, which he started skating not too long ago. So this Carolina team, watch out. I think they can really compete for the Central Division.
Okay, all good stuff. Okay, give me a Golden Knights update. Are we better or worse than we're supposed to be? Be straight with me. I can take it.
Right on track. This team is supposed to be one of the best in the NHL, and they're performing like one of the best in the NHL. The only thing that's really questionable right now with them is their injuries. Pietrangelo and Stone, those are the two we're looking at, and then Robin Lehner as well. You have a $10 million goalie sitting on the IR right now. So other than that, this Vegas Golden Knights team, nothing to be worried about. They should be a Cup contender as well, and they should be pretty good this year.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking really good, and they're playing in a super tough conference against really good teams, a few other really good teams, and they're holding their own, and they're leading the conference. So absolutely.
Excellent. I love to hear that. Yeah, I know here in town, it was a big deal. The new goalie guy, the Lerner guy, the locals were not a fan. Like, we're so obsessed with Marc-Andre Fleury, and, he was here for a strong thing. And there was like a lot of contest, who's going to be the starter. And a lot of people weren't happy about it. And so now there's a lot of nanny boo-boos because he's just riding the bench while Fleury does it all. So I think it's business. If you're a great freaking goalie, get in that net, homie. I don't care what
I mean, no surprise there because the Vegas Golden Knights in their inaugural season rode Marc-Andre Fleury all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. So I can see why they were not really happy about bringing Robin Lehner in, which actually Robin Lehner was a great career goalie with he was okay with the Blackhawks. He was a really good Islander for plenty of years. So, I mean, he's a good goalie. He's just hurt right now.
It happens. All right, guys. Well, that just about does it for us. Our time is up. So thank you guys all for joining. Give us that thumbs up. Hit the like button. That's what keeps us pushing out this free content for you guys every single day. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. That's the way that you never miss one of our free shows. Definitely check. I don't know why I can't talk today. I feel like I should.
It happens. It's
like my job. Check out Nick Parsons at the Insiders Room over on Twitter. Nick Earle at Earle Sports Bets. You can also find him and his brother do podcasts every morning, NBA, NHL, esports. That's search Earle Sports Bets on YouTube. That's how you can find him. And then don't forget, we do have the promo code MAD, M-A-D, saves you 20% off the entire picksandparlays.net site. And that includes Nick Parsons' premium plays. See, I got all my P's together there, didn't I?
Very good. Very good.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to Picks and Parlay View crew. We will check you out soon. We've got a total NBA coming up tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. See you guys later.
Later.